I gotta show you this video, man, when it comes to faith, man. I mean, she just don't stop, man. Check this out.
I was actually in LA working with a producer in his group.
I think
We
I
just
seen
so
this
happened
before
to
where
go
she was
out
trying to
to a
say she
club
didn't
one
know
night
Pac was on death row.
and Tretch was there with Tupac. I knew Tretch from
Mm.
Jersey.
New
So
Jersey,
Tretch
right?
introduced me to Tupac and said, "Hey, my boy Pac want to meet you." Apparently, I wasn't, this is before all this shit is in real time. You know what I'm saying?
Right, of course.
Um, I remember hitting Big and telling him I met your boy Pac. That was it. Pac had told me he wanted to work with me, which I was surprised at. Didn't know nothing about Pac being signed to Death Row. I just met him at the club through
Everybody knew
Tretch.
Pac was on
You know what
death
I'm
row
Right.
saying?
because that was
So
like the headlines on MTV, on
the
every,
exchange with me
like
and
I
Pac
remember
had
back
nothing to
then it was
do
like
with
the biggest
in
talk you
real
could never
time. It had
imagine.
nothing to do with what was
I
really
think I
going on
seen
with
this. Hold on, let
Puff
me
and
see.
Suge, which I knew nothing about until
Right.
years later. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I never knew anything
Nah, that don't
about
even make
this.
sense. You know what I
First of all,
mean?
let's start with I didn't know
And
Pac was
I'm gonna
signed
keep it
to
real
Death
because
Row.
I seen that before. That don't even make sense because everybody knew Pac was on death row. The studio, if you walk in the studio, everybody in the studio is from death row. If you uncomfortable, you could walk out right there. Like, wait a minute, something ain't right. It's corrupt is here. Like all these death row people here. I'm getting out of here. You know what I mean? If she was uncomfortable, that she willingly knew everything.
So she was cool with everything. She even went back and told Biggie, right? If I'm not mistaken, that Pac, he was working on this.
Yeah, because we had a song, if I'm not mistaken, it might have been the first Hit 'Em Up or one of these songs that she was in the studio when it was playing. And all of a sudden they came out with that same beat. You know what I mean? I think I said before it might have been the first Hit 'Em Up, but if I'm not mistaken, it was a song that they took one of our beats. And that's when Pac came out with Hit 'Em Up and he was like, take money, he switched it up a little bit. But yeah, I remember that. And she heard that song and went back and told him, like, oh, they working on this song with this such and such beat. That joint dope. Then all of a sudden they came out with the video and everything. Listen, people need to like, you know what I mean? The one thing I don't really be liking is that it's okay to all of the like majority of us was young teenagers, early 20s when we was going through these things. It's okay to say, well, you know what? I don't agree with that now. It's okay. You know what I mean? You got kids. You probably embarrassed of certain stuff. It's okay to say, you know what, I made a big mistake. I don't agree with what I done. You know what I mean? But you don't have to try to flip the narrative and make it seem like this because then it looks stupid, like crazy. Like, 'cause everybody knew he was on Death Row Records. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's even clips on YouTube of MTV reporting that Tupac signed to Death Row.
Because back then, you know, Death Row, like, it was one of the biggest moves in hip hop. Because Pac was a very controversial figure. Death Row was a controversial record label. Pac just got shot, got prison time. Suge got on there and said something about if you don't want this person all up in the videos, then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Pac on Death Row, this was big back then. It was like, whoa.